Okay, in this video, I want to go through how to find or evaluate limits from a graph. So we have this picture of the function g of x, and we are looking at these 4 questions about certain numbers. So we're going to approach first, we're going to approach -1, then we'll approach 2, then 3, and then -3. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is when x is -1. This first question asks us to approach -1 from the left. That's what that little negative is up on top. So we're going to go to -1. We're going to get on the left side of it, and we're going to move toward -1 from the left and look at what the y value is. And that appears to be approaching 2. Then, to evaluate this guy, we're looking at -1 from the right-hand side. So again, we're going to go to -1. We're going to get on the right-hand side of it, go to the graph, and then follow until you get closer to the x value of -1 and look at what y value you were approaching, and that's -3. The fact that these two things are not the same means that this limit does not exist. The way I like to talk about this, I'll do this one side at a time, but approaching from the left and approaching from the right, your pen doesn't, your fingers, if your fingers were on the graph or if you were tracing, these two things don't meet. And therefore the two-sided limit does not exist. Okay, so let's look then at our next problem. Go ahead and erase all this stuff. The next number we're looking at is +2. So we're going to go where x is +2. This is telling us to evaluate from the left. So we're going to get on the left side of 2 and ride the function to that x value. And what y value are we approaching? It's 0. It does not matter that that is an open circle. It's what y value are you approaching? So the answer is 0. And then we're going to do the same thing. Get on the right-hand side of it, because that's what this little plus sign is for. So get on the right-hand side and ride the function until you get there. What y value are we approaching? Also 0. The fact that those two are the same and are 0 means that this answer is 0. Again, if you were to, those two pieces meet at y equals 0 and at x equals 2. So that's the limit. All right, so let's try another one. Let's look at +3 from the left. So +3 is right here. From the left-hand side, what y value are we approaching? That would be -1. And then go to +3, get on the right-hand side, what y value are we approaching? Also -1. The fact that those two things meet there, that's your limit value. So the limit is equal, the limit is equal to -1. Okay, so let's look at -3 now. So -3 is right here. The first thing we're going to do is get on the left-hand side of it and follow that line. And what that is approaching is -infinity. If we get on the right-hand side of -3, that puts us up here. That y value is +2 that it is approaching. The fact that those are different, and again, these two things would not touch, that means that this limit does not exist. So there's how you evaluate limits from a graph.